Welcome to Virtual Networking Security, Network Security. Hello everyone, I'm Eng Tiong Chia, Microsoft MVP. Network Security. Network Security Group. Network traffic can be filtered to and from Azure resources in an Azure Virtual Network with a Network Security Group. A Network Security Group contains security rules that allow or deny inbound network traffic to or outbound network traffic from several types of Azure resources. For each route, you can specify source and destination port and protocol VMs that you create via resources managers. Deployment model can have direct connectivity to the internet by using a public IP addresses that is directly assigned to the VMs. Only with the host firewall configured inside the VMs help protect these VMs from the internet. VMs that you create by using the classic deployment models communicate with internet resources through the cloud service that is assigned the public IP address, which is also known as the VIPs. VMs that reside inside in the cloud service that VIP and establish communication with internet resources by using endpoint. If you remove the VM endpoints that map the public port and public IP address of the cloud service to the private IP address of the VM, the VMs become unreachable from the internet via the public IP addresses. Network security groups helps provide advanced security for the VMs you create via either deployment models, NSGS, control inbound and outbound traffic passing through a network adapter, a VM or a subnet. For the implementation, for inbound traffic, the subnet NSG is evaluated first. Any traffic allowed through subnet NSG is then evaluated by VM NSG. The reverse is applicable for outbound traffic, with VMs NSG being evaluated first. Any traffic allowed through a VM NSG is then evaluated by subnet NSG. This allows for granular security rules application. For example, you might want allow inbound internet access to few application VM under a subnet but restrict inbound internet access to other VM. In this case, you can have more rules on the subnet NSG, allowing internet traffic and restrict access to specific VM by denying access on the VM NSG. The same can be applied for outbound traffic. To help secure and protect your Azure resources, make sure NSG planning is standard operating procedures for your deployment. Application security groups enable you to configure network security as a natural extension of application structures. You then can group VMs and define network security policy based on those groups. You also can reverse your Azure security policy at scale without manual maintenance of explicit IP addresses. The platform manage the complexity of explicit IP addresses and multiple rule set, allowing you to focus on your business logic. Service endpoints. A virtual network service endpoint provides the identity of your virtual network, you can secure Azure service resources to your virtual network by adding a virtual network rules to the resources. Today, Azure service traffic from a virtual network use public IP addresses as a source IP addresses, with service endpoint service traffic switches to use a virtual network private addresses as the source IP addresses. Then accessing the Azure service from virtual network, these suites allow you to access the services without the need for reserved public IP addresses used in IP firewall. A common usage case for service endpoint is a virtual machine accessing storage. The storage account restricts access to the virtual machine private IP address. Azure Private Links works on approval call flow model, where in private link service consumers can request a connection to the service provider for consuming the service. The service provider can then decide whether to allow a consumer to connect or not. Azure Private Link enables the service provider to manage the private endpoint connection on their resources. Web application firewall provide a centralized protection of your web application from common exploits and vulnerabilities. Web applications are increasingly targeted by malicious attacks that exploit commonly known vulnerabilities. SQL injection and cross-site scripting are among the most common attacks. Preventing such attacks in the application code is challenging. It can require rigorous maintenance, patching, and monitoring at multi-layers of the application topology. A centralized web application firewall helps make security management much simpler. A simple WAF also gives application administrator better assurance of protection against threat and intrusion. Azure Front Door. Azure Front Doors enable you to define, manage, and monitor the global routing for your web traffic by optimizing the best performance and instant global failover for high availability. With a front door, you can transform your global, multi-region, consumers, and enterprise application in robust, high performance, personalized, modern application APIs and content that reach a global audience with Azure. ExpressRoute Direct. ExpressRoute Direct gives you the ability to connect directly into Microsoft Global Networking at peering location strategically distributed across the world. ExpressRoute Direct provides dual 100 gigs or 10 gigs connectivities. ExpressRoute Direct supports massive data ingestion scenario into Azure storage and other big data services. ExpressRoute circuits on 100 gigs. ExpressRoute Direct now also support 40 gigs and 100 gig circuit SKUs. The physical port pair or 100 or 10 gigs only can have multiple virtual circuits. Let's go for a demonstration about network security groups and application security groups. If you have any questions, you can find me at my Twitter. Thank you.